Okay, good afternoon. My name is Raymond A. Talde, B.Ed 3 Block 20 student of Dalaga Community College. My report is all about the history of the Philippine educational system, other developments. The first is the integration of values in all learning areas. It is development through the teaching, learning, activities in different learning areas. The starting point of this, the nature of the learning areas and their unique contribution as body of knowledge. The, the next is the YDT and CAT, or the Youth Development Training. It introduced as a new courses of media instruction bilingual education policy, mandates the use of English and Filipino separately as media of instruction in school. The next is the Education Act of 1982. It is created the Ministry of Education, Culture and Sports. This was an act providing for establishment and maintenance of an integrated system of education in accordance with Section 2. This act shall apply to and govern but formal and non-formal system in public and private schools in all levels of the entire educational system. The next is the NCEE, or the National College Entrance Examination. This Executive Order number 117, President Corazon C. Aquino renamed Ministry of Education, Culture and Sports, or DEX, in 1987. NCEE taken by the students before they begin higher education. This exam is administered during the fourth year of high school. The next is the creation of the Board for Professional Teachers, composed of 5 under PRC. There is hereby created under this Act a Board for Professional Teachers, hereinafter called the Board of Collegial Body under the general supervision and administrative control of the Professional Regulation Commission, or PRC. The next is the replacement the replacement or the transfer of authority administering the let from CEC Index to the Board of Professional Teachers under PRC. And the next is the trifocalization of educational system. It pertains to assigning 3 different agencies to oversee major education system, or DepEd, for basic education, and TESDA for technical and vocational educational training, or TVET. The next is the CHED. It is responsible for higher education, Republic Act 7722, Higher Education Act of 1994. In August 2001, Republic Act 9155, otherwise called the Governance of Basic Education Act, was passed, transforming the name Department of Education, Culture and Sports (DEX) to the Department of Educational or Department of Education or DepEd, and redefining the role of field offices, regional offices, division offices, district offices, and schools. Republic Act 9155 provide the overall framework. For example, school head empowerment by strengthening their leadership roles, and the second is the school-based management within the context or transparency and local accountability. Governance of Basic Education Act of Republic Act 9155 was passed, renaming DEX to DepEd and redefining the role of field offices, which include the regional offices, division offices, district offices, and schools. The next is the values education is offered as a separate subject and in INSEC and integrated in all subject areas in both curricula, implementation in all subject areas in both education curricula, new secondary education curriculum or INSEC. Number and the next is the Republic Act 10157, January 20, 2012, or Kindergarten Act. The next is the K-12 Program, Republic Act 10533, May 15, 2019. The varied goals of educational in different historical periods of the Philippine history that was considered important in its historical period of the country was also the focus or direction of the education of Filipino. During the pre-colonial period, students were given vocational training but lesser academic for them to be good fathers and mothers. The next is during the Spanish period, schools focus on religious formation to help them live the Christian faith. The next is the American regime education educated the Filipinos to become good citizens of a democratic country. The Japanese regime taught them love of labor. The post-colonial period education system was devoted to the following goals. Number one is the foster love of country. Number two, teach the duties of citizenship. Number three is to develop moral character, self-discipline, and the last is the scientific, technological, and vocational efficiency. The present DepEd vision and mission statement and core values and the fourth mission of the Commission on Higher Education add light to the present goals of Philippine education given below. To produce throughout graduates imbued with a number one, values reflective of humanist orientation. Number two is the analytical and problem solving skills. Number three is the ability to think things through the ethical and social implication of a given source of action. Number four is the competency to learn continuously throughout life. The Department of Education has the following vision and mission. We dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize their full potentials and contribute meaningfully to build the nation. It is the DepEd vision. So, pangarap daw ng mga Pilipino na may masintang pag-ibig sa kanilang bansa, na ang kanilang pagpapalaga at kakayahan ay pag nagdudulot sa kanila na matanto ang kanilang buong potensyal ay makabuluhang nakatutulong sa, sa pagbabago o pagbuo ng bansa. Bilang pampublikong institusyon, nakasentro ang sa mag-aaral, ang kagawaran ng edukasyon ay patuloy na nagpagpapabuti ng kanilang sarili upang mas mahusay na mapagsilbihan ang kanyang mga stakeholders. The next is the DepEd mission to protect and promote the right of every Filipino to quality, equitable culture based on complete basic education, where students learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment, where the teachers facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner, where the administrators and staff as stewards of the institution ensure an enabling and supportive environment for effective learning to happen. Family, community, and other stakeholders are actively engaged and share responsibility for developing lifelong learners. Ang mission daw ng DepEd is upang protektahan at itaguyod ang karapatan ng bawat Pilipino sa kalidad, pagkakapantay-pantay, cultural-based at kumpletong pangunahing edukasyon kung saan ang mga mag-aaral ay matuto sa isang panakaibigan, sensitibo sa pangkasarian, ligtas at nakapagpapasiglang kapaligiran. Pinangangasiwaan ng guro ang pag-aaral at patuloy na pangangalaga sa bawat mag-aaral. Ang mga administrador at mga kawani tulad ng mga katiwala ng mga institusyon ay sinisiguro para sa epektibong pag-aaral. Ang bawat pamilya, komunidad at iba pang mga stakeholders ay aktibong nakikibahagi sa responsibilidad para sa pag-unlad ng mag-aaral habang buhay. So, dito na tayo sa pagiging makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. So, una ay pagiging makadiyos. So, pagiging makadiyos, it expresses one's spiritual beliefs while respecting the spiritual beliefs of others. It indicates engages oneself in worthwhile spiritual activities, respects sacred places, respects religious beliefs of others, demonstrate curiosity and willingness to learn about other ways to express spiritual life. It shows adherence to ethical principles by upholding truth. It tells the truth, returns borrowed things in good condition, demonstrates intellectual honesty, expects honestly from others, aspires to be fair and kind to all, identifies personal biases, recognizes and respects other feelings and those of others. The next one is the pagiging makatao. It is the sensitive to individual social and cultural differences. It indicates to show respect for all, waits for one's turn, take good care of borrowed things, views mistakes as learning opportunities, upholds and respects the dignity and equality of all, including those with special needs, volunteers to assist others in time of need, recognizes and respects other people from different economic, social, and cultural backgrounds. Pagiging makatao ay it demonstrate contributions toward solidarity. It indicates cooperates during activities, recognizes and accept the contribution other towards a goal. It considers the diverse views, communi- communicates respectfully, accept defeat, and celebrate other success. Kumbaga dito yung parang matuwa ka sa kung anong nagiging pag-unlad ng iyong kapwa. It enables others to succeed, speak, speaks out against and prevents bullying. And sunod is the makakalikasan. Cares of the environment and utilizes resources wisely, judiciously, and economically. It indicates to show a caring attitude toward the environment, practices waste management, conserves energy and resources, take care of school materials, facilities, and equipment. And the next one is the makabansa. It demonstrates pride in being a Filipino, exercises the rights and responsibilities of a Filipino citizen. So, dito nai-indicate po dito to identify oneself as a Filipino, respect the flag and national anthem, takes pride in diverse Filipino cultural expressions, practices, and traditions, promotes the appreciations and enhancement of Filipino languages, abides by the rules or susunod ka sa mga rules sa school, community, and country dahil ito'y nagpapakita ng pagiging makabansa, being a Filipino citizen. It also demonstrates appropriate behavior in carrying out activities in the school, community, and country. It indicates manage time and personal resources effectively and efficiently, perseveres to achieve goals despite difficult circumstances, conducts oneself appropriately in various situations. That's the core values. The importance of studying history of education. Dewi explains why study of the history of education is valuable. He said that the educational issues and problems are often rooted in the past, that the study of educational history can help us to understand and solve today's problem. Realistic effort to reform education begin with present conditions which are a product of our past. It is the study of education's past provides a perspective that explains and illuminates our present activities as a teachers. So that's all my report. Thank you and good evening.